Hey folks, Alan Manic, the HotRodHippie here. Today's quick tip trick video. This one's about body hammers. So, in this video today, I'm going to discuss quickly optimizing your body hammers and maintaining them to keep them doing a job not only for the long term, but doing it better than you're going to get it when you buy them new. So when you buy a new body hammer, you'll often find that it has striation marks, grinder marks on the face of it from either the surface grinder or the belt sander at the factory that they use to shape and create the face on it. And while the hammer will work out just fine the way it is, it's not the optimum surface you're looking for. What you're looking for is a high polished finish on the face. That finish is going to create a much better finished product that you're working on. Whether it be knocking a dent out on a car or a full-on metal shaping project, I promise you a high polished finish is the key to getting a better finish on your panel. Why is that? Well, quite simply, if you have imperfections on the face of your hammer, every time you strike that panel with it, you're transferring that imperfection to the piece of metal. That's not what you're looking for. As you're trying to correct the panel, you're actually creating more problems. Now you either need to sand those out, you need to try and bump them out, or they're just there and you have to deal with them. You can end up with a panel that's really nice and smooth, but also has a whole bunch of little nicks and marks in it that you just can't quite get out because your hammer wasn't right. So what I recommend doing is take that hammer, sand it, get it to a nice high polish finish. I start at 80 grit, work my way up to 600 to 1000 sometimes, take it over to the buffer, and I get a nice high polish finish on the face so it's ready to use. I do this with all my hammers and my dollies so that they are going to come together and create the best finished product I can produce. The next thing to discuss is the edge on your hammers. When you buy a new hammer, you're going to find that it has a fairly strong edge to it. By that I mean it's a little bit pointy, it's a little bit sharp. Run your finger across it, you're going to feel it, it's almost a 90, it's a little sharp edge. If you're using your hammer just straight away like that, you could end up with a bunch of half moons, circle imprints in your metal. That's because you're not getting the squarest of hits when you're swinging the hammer, and it's going to leave that edge mark on the panel. Again, you've created an imperfection that you need to either try and work out or just leave in the panel. That's not what you're looking for. What I recommend is when you're polishing the face, take a DA, take a sander, and knock down that edge. Put a little 45 on it and then kind of radius it. If you do that, your hammer's going to be a lot more forgiving and a lot easier to use. It's going to work a lot better for beginners. Swinging that hammer, not quite sure what they're doing, you're not going to end up with nearly as many of those marks if you knock that edge down a little bit. The next tip I'm going to give you is a really straightforward one, but I promise you I'm saying it because I've seen it so many times. And that is, don't drive chisels, don't hit your spot weld cutter, don't use your body hammer to knock bolts out. It's not what it's for. Body hammer is for body work. Use it to knock out dents, planish out metal, bump metal. That is what it's for. It is not for those other purposes. I know it might be the hammer you have close to you at the time. Resist the urge to grab it, go to the toolbox and get the proper hammer for the job. Grab that ball peen, grab that mini sledge. Don't ruin your hammers. Because if you're striking on a chisel, that chisel's pretty hard. It could leave small impressions, half moons in the face of your hammer. Now you created the imperfections I just told you to get out of there. The next tip is another basic one. It is simply take care of your hammers. It kind of falls in with the last one, being don't use it for improper uses. But what I mean is, if you're not using it for a long period of time, oil your hammers and dollies. Put a little light coat of oil on them so they're not going to rust. They are just bare steel. So as you're using them, your hand oils, maybe water from shrinking, are getting onto them. Clean them off, put a little oil on them, and store them away. This is great if you're not going to be using them for an extended period of time. Maybe you're moving on to suspension work, you're working on the engine. Well, they're not going to get touched for a while. Last thing you want to do is open that drawer in a couple months and find all your hammers are rusted and you have to clean them up all over again. There's no reason to waste your time. Keep them maintained and you won't have an issue. The last tip I have is to apply the principle of cleaning up your hammers, dollies, to all of your tools that are coming in contact with metal. If it's a metal surface, it's either going to be striking or running across that surface, keep it clean, keep it polished. English wheel anvils, your planishing hammer dies, your Pullmax dies, your power hammer dies, your slip roller rolls, all of those need to be a nice clean finish on them because as you're using them, they're going to imprint on the metal the same as your hammers and your dollies are going to. Keep those things clean, maintained, free of nicks and mars. It's a simple concept, but it really makes a big difference in the end. Alright folks, That's been the video about optimizing maintaining your body hammers. Let me know if you'd like to see more specific videos in the future when it comes to these tools. I can let you know maybe some more specific uses of the different ones that are available and techniques for using them. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see that. Drop this video a like if you found it informative. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date, see those other videos that are coming down the line. Check out some of the other stuff we have, the product reviews, the other tips and tricks. Thanks for coming around, folks. Have a good day.